Okay, so brand me. This is about maintaining an appropriate personal appearance. And what we want to do in this lesson is describe the importance of personal appearance and identify the factors that influence your personal appearance, and then demonstrate procedures to maintain an appropriate personal appearance. All right. So, your personal appearance. Do you have a favorite outfit that you love to wear? Maybe it's a super comfortable shirt or a sweater that highlights the color of your eyes. Or maybe have you recently updated your look with a new hairstyle to appear your best for an important event? So, how you look and what you wear is part of your personal appearance, and it is also your personal brand. Your personal appearance affects how you see yourself, and it affects how you feel about yourself. If you think about how you feel about yourself when you're dressed up versus when you're wearing casual clothes. Don't you feel just a little bit different in how you're dressed? So, by working to look your best, you can boost your self-concept. That's how you see yourself. And then you can also boost your self-esteem, and that is how you feel about yourself. Okay? So, I want you to think about something. Are you influenced by how a product is packaged when you go to purchase a product? For instance, you have a box name of brand cereal and a box of generic equivalent. Which would you prefer? The content's basically the same, but the appearance of the box makes the name brand more appealing. I know that's how I feel. I'm always looking at the pretty boxes. Okay, so first impressions are critical. For example, if you have, let's say, Allison, a high school sophomore, decides that she needs to get a summer job. And Allison developed a resume, put together a list of references, and went out looking for a job. She was dressed in a pair of jeans, a school t shirt, and sneakers. She applied for work at several businesses and talked with a number of business managers. Unfortunately, even though Allison has many good qualities and skills, she couldn't seem to land a summer job. And the reason? Because she didn't present an effective personal brand. All right, so a personal brand is the image that you present to the world. So by dressing certain ways, people can show their interest and what they value. For example, an athlete may wear team jerseys to show his love of sports. And a person who loves fashion, well, they may dress with all the latest trends. And then the way you dress and appear, it says something about you. It really does. Now, I'm not trying to say that we should be judgmental of what people look like, but it still makes an impression. And the first impression is one of the most important. So let's think of it in the world of work. The image you present is important. It might not be appropriate to dress like a rocker or an athlete while working in a customer service position in a retail store. This is why you may not want to wear what you usually do when you apply for a job. It's important to create an image or a brand by dressing in a way that shows maturity and self-confidence. Allison wasn't successful in her job search because she didn't create the right image. Your personal appearance, the physical image that you present to others, influences how others view you, even when you initially meet. Think about it. When you first meet somebody, the way they look, it does make an impression on you, especially if you haven't even spoke to them yet. So, like it or not, you're frequently judged by others on the basis of first impressions, sometimes out of necessity and sometimes out of habit. People may size you up quickly with very little information to go on. It's just the way it is. They're developing an impression of you and who you are simply by what you look like. I'm not saying that's right, but it does happen. And I'll tell you what, by looking at you, people can tell to some degree how you see yourself and how you feel about what you see. You express these personal thoughts and feelings in the way you present yourself to others. And it matters more when you're looking for a job or when you're in a job that you take critical care of that. So, through your appearance, others will form opinions about your personality, your trustworthiness, your education level, your background, your career competence, and your ability to work and succeed. If you do your best to look good, you're most likely to obtain favorable reactions from others and improve your self confidence, your self concept. When you think others think good of you, you see yourself better, and your self esteem will rise. So, how you look often makes a difference in how well you do in job interviews. Interviewers, they have just a little bit of time to make a decision about individuals that they interview, and they rely heavily on their first impressions. Your appearance is an important factor that influences their perceptions, and this includes your clothing and the manner in which you carry yourself. Interviewers feel that your appearance reflects your attitude and the skills that you possess. Even after you're hired, your appearance is critical to your success in the workplace. As an employee, your appearance reflects the image of the company. You're representing them. If you look and act professional, customers and vendors are likely to think more highly of your business than they would if you dressed and act like a slob. You've been places. Don't you think more of people who act professional and the way they look? So, likewise, if you own your own company, your appearance can influence the attitudes and perceptions customers or clients have about either the products you sell or the services you provide. I want you to think about something. I want you to think about situations in which you formed opinions of a business on the basis of employee appearance. Have you ever been somewhere and the people didn't look clean? Did you want to go back? So it does matter. How you look and how you take care of yourself can also affect your job performance. By acting and looking like a professional who is serious about his or her job, you can set yourself apart from your coworkers in a positive manner. In doing so, you communicate to your superiors that you are serious about your job. As a result, you're more likely to receive pay raises and promotions. So let's think about the factors that influence your personal appearance. How you look depends greatly on your physical body, your health, and your clothing or dress. Your physical body is one factor that affects your appearance and personal brand. I'm not saying that you have to look like a model, but you can enhance your personal brand through good, constant hygiene habits, including taking a shower, using deodorant, washing and styling your hair, brushing and flossing your teeth. Okay, yeah, this just should be a habit, and especially if you're going to be going out and seeing people. People also develop opinions of you from your body language or your nonverbal communication. Your body language can affect your image or brand drastically. Crossing your arms close to your body often indicates that you're upset or you feel defensive. If you're biting your fingernails or twirling your hair, that's an indication that you're nervous. It's normal to feel nervous sometimes, but the key is to not look like it. You want to appear calm, cool, and collected. You also should stand up straight, Be confident. Be aware of your nervous habits so you can avoid them. Focus on the person with whom you are speaking. Don't look off into nowhere land. Always look people in the eye. Let that person know you're interested in what he or she is saying by looking her or him in the eye. So, I want you to think about something. Think about an opinion or an impression you've had of people with poor posture. Does that make a difference if they're all slumped over or if they're not, walking with their straight back? Or maybe they're too straight. Doesn't it make a difference, their posture alone? So, what about your health? The proper health care makes you a better, more productive employee. You need to eat right. You need to avoid habit forming substances and exercise regularly. Exercise regularly doesn't necessarily mean you need to go to the gym or have a routine of an exercise program. If you get outside and you play some soccer, play some football, or just go for a walk, that's some good exercise. But let me tell you about Sam. Sam works as a sales representative for a pharmaceutical company. Okay. His clients were doctors, so it was important that he present a professional appearance. Sam enjoyed playing the drums for a band that performed at local clubs several nights a week. Sometimes the band played late into the night, and Sam got very little sleep. Because he was so tired, he started getting up later and later each morning. Sam did not have the time to take a shower, style his hair, or iron his clothes. Because of his fatigue, Sam started making mistakes at work and began showing up late for appointments. Eventually, doctors refused to meet with him. His sales decreased, and his supervisor reprimanded him for his poor work performance. So it makes a difference. Your health is going to make a difference in your appearance and your actions. So be sure and eat a healthy diet and avoid the habit forming substances, even something like coffee. Um, and then try to exercise in some manner. Okay. You also need to get adequate rest. It makes a difference in how you appear and also how you act. But you also need to have some time for yourself and take time to relax. Relaxation helps you stay healthy and maintain a balanced life. So, what about your clothing and your appearance overall? So, how you dress definitely affects your personal appearance. The clothing that you wear to work is dependent on many factors. First of all, your employer might have policies themselves about what you should wear to work. Okay, it also matters what kind of job you have. If you work in a restaurant or a hospital, you might even have to wear a certain uniform. If you work outdoors and your job requires physical activity, it might be acceptable to wear shorts. It's common for people in sales positions to be held to a higher standard of dress because the image they present can impact their sales and business relationships. How effective would a lawyer be in a courtroom if he or she were wearing sweatpants and running shoes with messy hair and a sweaty face? It matters. It matters. Okay. Also, the business environment has developed a more casual attitude regarding proper attire in the workplace. Some of them have like casual Fridays or business casual policies, but you still have to go with the employer's policies. Employees are often confused as to what constitutes proper work attire. So, to determine appropriate dress for work, ask your supervisor, ask the other employees, consult the company's policy manual, and also observe what coworkers, supervisors, and managers wear to work on a regular and dress down days. That would give you a better idea what to wear. If you want to be promoted, it's wise to dress for the job you want instead of the one you have. So, what would be some possible benefits of dressing a step or two above your coworkers? Would that be beneficial? Ask yourself this question when you get dressed for work. Would I feel embarrassed about what I am wearing if I had to meet with the company's CEO today? Okay? Don't dress that you would be embarrassed if that happened. But also, clothing makes a statement about your own brand. Don't worry if you can't afford expensive clothes. I'm not saying you have to go out and buy a bunch of expensive clothes. Just select a few well made individual pieces that go with a variety of other items and create several different outfit combinations. Purchase some less expensive generic items to complete that wardrobe. The key is to decide how you want to spend your money and where to spend it. Also, keep in mind that unusual hairstyles, colors, body piercing, and tattoos are not always appropriate for the workplace. Once again, it matters about your work and your employer's policies. Whether you agree with the company's strict policies or not, it's important to follow them. Since your employer is paying you, you may need to compromise on what you want to wear and what they want you to wear. You may need to tone down your appearance, removing your piercings or covering your tattoos. Companies often have important reasons for instituting dress codes. If you work around heavy, dangerous equipment, you may need to remove your jewelry or wear specific clothing to protect you from injury. If you work in a fast food restaurant, you may be required to wear a hat or a hairnet to keep your hair from falling into the food. So there are reasons for some of the employer policies. Okay. It's also important to demonstrate procedures for maintaining an appropriate personal appearance. So, how are we going to go about doing this? You affect your appearance through your actions and by your choices. You define your brand. As your brand evolves, you'll want to make adjustments to reflect the best you. But steps to make the most of your personal brand is develop a hygiene routine. Shower and bathe daily, take care of your hair, apply deodorant, wear freshly laundered clothing, wash your face every morning and evening, brush your teeth, floss, clean and trim your fingernails, neatly trim and groom any facial hair. Keep exposed skin hydrated, smooth, and attractive. Because poor hygiene can also affect how you smell. Since you usually get used to your own smell, you may not notice body odor or bad breath. But if you smell bad, your coworkers will notice. This creates a very embarrassing situation for them and you. So, assess the situation and select appropriate outfits and accessories. The situation will dictate how you should dress and present yourself to others. So, you got to think about it. Am I going to the office? Am I going to a client's business? Am I going to a luncheon meeting or maybe a job interview? So, after you find out and assess the situation, identify the day's activities, you can determine what to wear. Instead, make sure the outfit is appropriate for your work environment. Okay, you need to avoid garments that are tight, revealing, baggy, or that bear an inappropriate message. Opt for clothing that is more conservative, such as a nice pair of pants, a dress shirt, and a sweater or blazer. Your accessories are important also. You need to consider those. Your shoes, your earrings, and your makeup. They should all enhance your appearance, not detract from it. It's best to use an understated look. Heavy application, dramatic colors, and unusual techniques of your makeup should be avoided. If you don't care for makeup, a good grooming routine is fine. And then before you go out, evaluate the status of your clothing and accessories. Make sure everything's clean, odor free, no wrinkles, no pet hair. Make sure your shoes are dirt and scuff free. And if you carry a personal tote or laptop bag, make sure that it looks professional. final check before you walk out and establish a backup plan if things aren't right. So, in your gray zone, because most companies want to project a positive image, they publish materials about themselves that contain very select images of people. Both in company publications and promotion materials, the individuals shown typically represent a very small portion of a company's actual workforce or customers. Company publications and advertisements often show people who are young, slender, and free from any physical handicaps. We seldom see anyone in these publications who is overweight or in a wheelchair. The frequent depiction of unusually attractive and thin individuals may affect your idea of what appropriate personal appearance is, influence how you view yourself. Do companies have a responsibility to show more realistic, average looking individuals in the materials they print? Have these organizations contributed to the increase in eating disorders such as anorexia or bulimia? Would pictures of overweight individuals affect your attitude toward these organizations or your decisions to use their products?